Good afternoon and welcome to the Rise Apartments grand opening. I am honored and privileged to stand here today at this moment to welcome this new community into the city of Los Angeles and welcome our veterans and other residents to this beautiful community that you will be toured later. This is a 57-unit permanent supportive housing community for veterans and other special needs individuals. The units are studio units with about 425 square feet on average, community rooms, property management offices, on-site parking, multiple outdoor landscaped areas such as the one I'm standing here and on multiple decks and levels, with a variety of programs that will be offered by our SRO property management team. In addition, we've created a special space on the ground floor for a local community nonprofit, Rise Financial Pathways, that will continue serving the community from this location. This community is the resultant work of many, many departments, many individuals, and many years of work. The site was purchased back in 2016. We stood here on a dirt lot towards the end of 2018. And today, we have a 4-story with a podium and underground parking that we have worked very hard and are very proud. In creating these public-private partnerships, it is work that can be attributed to many and never to one. Today is a day that we welcome this community, but today is the day we say thank you for all of those that made this possible, for all the organizations and the individuals that allowed us here to stand today and be part of this community. Our first speaker played a fundamental role in making this community happen today from day one, from when it was a concept of a design and a thought that we wanted. We met with Councilperson Curren Price, and he was nothing but supportive. His question was, how can we get this done? How quickly can we get this done? And what do we need to do? We are honored to have longtime Los Angeles Councilmember Curren Price Jr. with us today. Curren is a fierce advocate for the homeless and low-income population in District 9 and is committed to ensuring that all of his constituents have a safe and affordable place to call home. Before becoming a member of the City Council, he was a member of the California State Senate and State Assembly. His professional experience includes working as the executive producer of Political Empowerment, the Black Vote and Implications for the Future, and as the Deputy Los Angeles City Council. He has consulted with Small Business Development Center and served with the Los Angeles County Commission on Insurance and South Bay Governance Council, as well as the Metropolitan Transit Authority. He is a graduate of Stanford University and the University of Santa Clara, where he earned his law degree. But first and foremost, he is an advocate for housing. He has dedicated his time, he has dedicated his office and his staff to make sure that communities like these are a possibility, not just a dream and a reality. I'd like to welcome Councilman Price to the stage, please.
Thank you, Mo, for that lovely introduction. You read it just like I wrote it. Just kidding, just kidding. But thank you, Mo. I really do appreciate it. And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the new ninth. Are we having fun yet? I think we are. I'm delighted to see you all here today as we cut the ribbon on the $32 million Rise Apartments. And this is truly a significant achievement and certainly one that's long, long overdue. In fact, this is the latest homeless facility that we are inaugurating in our community. Just yesterday, we opened the doors to the Lillian Mobley Family Housing, which was a bridge housing site right down the street on 46th and Figueroa. Again, providing stability and help and guidance for 15 families, 15 formerly homeless families. This is mothers, with kids, dad with kids. It's a real friendly place, play yard in the front and in the back. It's dog friendly, pet friendly, and it's an opportunity again to get people off the streets and get them served. Last Friday, we broke ground on the Dolores Huerta apartments, again, right down the street on 52nd and Figueroa. The city's first modular permanent supportive housing solution. And so we're, again, excited that that project is going to be coming online later in the fall, and providing, again, a significant number of units, 40 units of housing, and it's going to be something that will help solve the problem. It's not a real solution, but it certainly is going to help. We all heard yesterday, Governor Newsom announced a $12 billion plan to provide resources, housing, other support services for our unhoused community. In my district, CD9, we've got the second highest concentration of homeless encampments. And so we're looking very, very carefully at what the governor is proposing. And it's even more important that we work collaboratively with our private sector, public sector partners to bring about the real change. That's why RISE, one of the handful of permanent supportive housing facilities that's going to be opening this year in CD9 is so very, very important. In fact, I'm proud to say that nearly 2,200 supportive housing units, supportive housing and homeless units have been approved by our office, and 900 of these units are going to be coming online by the end of next year. So again, we're making progress, but it's certainly not fast enough, and it's not enough. We know that there's no shortage of need in our communities, but projects like this can really be life-changing, and not only because of the help of the individuals involved, but their families are affected, and the broader community is a beneficiary. The development that we're standing on today is a shining example of what we can do through a successful public-private partnership, and it's got to be, I think, that way if we're serious about success. As you've heard, here we're bringing 56 units of permanent supportive housing into the 9th, complete with services. Complete with services. That's intimately important to make sure that individuals are getting the kind of guidance and support they need to be successful. We know that just putting a roof over an individual's head is not enough. In fact, this site is going to have 3 different providers of supportive services, and again, that's a testament, I think, to the long-term strategy and commitment that we have to get these individuals back on their feet. Finally, let me just acknowledge the individuals who worked so hard to bring this project to the finish line. First, we want to thank Highbridge Costa and the team for their efforts. They have put a lot of time, money, effort, and energy into this project over the past several years to make it a success. And we know that without their commitment, we would not be here. We know that okay, I'm just losing some of the notes here. We have SRO Housing. Again, no stranger to our community, and they have demonstrated, again, a real commitment to making sure that services are going to be provided. They've got a track record of over 30 years of service in our community, and so we appreciate the unique role that they're playing. And finally, we want to give thanks to our friends at RISE Financial Pathway. Now, some of you know that RISE has been a pivotal part of the South LA community for over 25 years. They really are a legacy organization. In fact, they were created following the uprising in the 90s with one goal in mind, and that is to provide a vehicle for financial resources and education to our most vulnerable neighbors. And so RISE has enabled a generation of South LA entrepreneurs to come into their own and to start businesses. And they've got a track record of large and small businesses that they have benefited. And then finally, we know that it takes a variety of resources, a variety of levels of assistance to make any project successful. But we're confident that with the track record that RISE has in providing capital, providing technical assistance to business that has really shaped the future of South LA, now to add housing for our most vulnerable neighbors is certainly an important element and something we're very proud of, and it's going to continue the legacy of service from this organization. So again, I just want to say thank you. I'm just so proud of this project in the new Ninth. You know, I'd be remiss, aside from the partners in this project, we certainly want to acknowledge the unique role that the LA City family and the LA County family have played in providing resources and making financial and other sources available to move this project forward. We want to thank Channel 35, who's on the scene recording this for posterity, and we appreciate that. But also let me give a shout out to my CD9 family that was instrumental and involved in bringing this project across the line. Sherilyn Carrera, who was our lead person on this, my deputy for planning, economic development, has been steadfast, working closely with bringing all these resources together. James Westbrook is here with us, our district director and deputy chief of staff. Angelina and Dee Dee certainly helped with the publicity and making sure that everything was in order. Brittany's here, Janice is here, Joel is here, all team members who share my commitment that we've got to do more, we've got to do better. These are extraordinarily challenging times. You know, it's an opportunity for us to really step up to the plate. Projects like this demonstrate that we're serious, that we are committed, and that we're willing to do what's necessary to get people off the streets, to get them in housing, and to provide the kinds of services that are going to be so important to assist them in succeeding and getting back into a life that makes it productive for them, their families, and their neighbors. And so again, thank you for being here today. Congratulations. And let's look forward to the next grand opening. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Price. And it is days like these, events like these, communities like these that prove it's not just all talk. This is here. This is solid. In a few months, this will be full with people who deserve a place to call home, deserve the dignity of living in a place like this. As we go through this, you will see how many departments, agencies, counties, people are involved in making this happen. And definitely CD9, I know Curren thanked his staff, and I do want to take the time to mention, he stole my thunder, but I really want to, from the High Ridge Costa team, express an extra thank you to Sherilyn for her dedication and commitment, working with us, with the other departments within the city. And while we're all committed to this, it's not an easy process, to say the least. And the support that we received from Councilman Price's office was so valuable and so detrimental in a positive way to make this happen today. So a big thank you to you and a big thank you to your team. We are grateful. In putting these together, a partner with experience and knowledge to deal and provide permanent supportive housing for our veterans is of the utmost importance. While it is very difficult to build these walls that stand here today, it is very difficult to process them and permit them. But the legacy for the next 55 years, 60 years, is how this will be operated and how those services will be provided. And that is an important legacy. And we found that in an amazing partner, SRO Housing. The knowledge and the experience that they will bring. Yes, we worked hard for 4 or 5 years, but they will be working hard here every day to serve these residents for the next decades. And so we are very proud to partner with them. Today with us is Ms. Anita Nelson, Executive Director of SRO Housing. We share the goal to build vibrant communities with them. Anita herself has over 30 years of diverse experience in the for-profit and non-profit sectors, including Director of Operations at the Saban Free Clinic and as a regional finance manager at the Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Southern California. Did we get Coca-Cola today? Anita currently serves on the board of Skid Row Development Corporation and the advisory board of UCLA's Extension Paralegal Program. She is a senior fellow at USC's Marshall School's Birmingham Social Enterprises Lab, UCLA and USC. Okay, that's good. See, we're bridging. That's all about. That's bridging. And UCLA's Luskin School of Public Affairs. She's a graduate of USC and Pepperdine University. But with all these accolades, I think the biggest accolade I can give Anita is she's an incredible person. With all the difficulties and the challenges that we've seen working through this, it's always been with a smile, it's always been with an attitude and a calm demeanor. We're going to get it done. We're going to get through it. And that's what it takes. I'd like to welcome to the podium Ms. Anita Nelson.
Thank you, Mo, for your wonderful and kind words. On behalf of SRO Housing Corporation, it is truly an honor and privilege to be a part of this grand opening ceremony for the Rise Apartments. For us, it is deeply rewarding to be a part of the process where we will be able to give someone the keys to their new home and provide them with the tools that will allow them to grow and thrive. This site will have 3 on-site case managers. 2 will be from the VA and 1 will be from SRO Housing Corporation. These 3 will provide supportive services to address the residents' needs and ensure they remain housed. So getting them housed is one step, but the biggest step and challenge is keeping them housed so they will never return back to being homeless. SRO Housing has provided affordable housing and supportive services to homeless and low-income individuals for over 37 years. And what makes this development special, and this is our 31st development, is the fact that it's our first development outside of downtown Los Angeles, and it's our first joint venture. And I have to say, it has been truly a pleasure to work with you, Mo, and your dynamic team at High Ridge Costa Development Corporation. So we're excited about this development, and we are doing more. So we're looking forward to doing more and growing. It truly takes the efforts of our elected officials, stakeholders, and community partners working together in an effort to help someone leave behind the despair of homelessness for a home. So, Councilmember Price, thank you for your support in making this happen. So I just want to thank Joseph, who's our Director of Housing and Planning Development. He's been with me for 17 of my 18 years at SRO Housing Corporation. We couldn't do it without him. So I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you and our partners for making the Rise Apartments a reality, because I remember being here about 3.5 years ago where we had the groundbreaking ceremony, and now to see this beautiful building is very, very rewarding. Together, we have created a beautiful permanent home for 56 homeless men and women, and this is something that we should all be extremely proud of. So thank you for helping us reach this accomplishment, and I look forward to doing more. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Anita. Once again, she stole my thunder, but thank you, Joseph, as well, for all SRO Housing's team's hard work and effort. I spoke earlier about RISE financial pathways, and unfortunately for S.E. Hogan Rolls, the executive director, was not able to join us today. But for S.E. Hogan Rolls and RISE Financial Pathways is a local community nonprofit that has been serving this community, as Councilman Price mentioned earlier. And we are pleased, and I want to speak on behalf on how she's excited to see this community up here completed, and that she will continue running her operation from the ground floor as she has done for many, many years before this was replaced. And we are happy to create the space for RISE Financial Pathways to continue their important role in serving this community. So on her behalf, I just wanted to express that to the audience that we have here today. High Ridge Costa is a developer of affordable housing. That is all we do, and that is all we have done for the last 27 years. This is our main mission, is to serve the communities. Michael Costa, the CEO and founder of High Ridge Costa, has built that vision from his personal interest to do right, to give back, to help others, and to serve the community. High Ridge Costa, under his leadership, has completed over 30,000 affordable housing units throughout the nation. Imagine the number of families when you multiply that. That's over 60,000 for decades and generations to come. And our objective is to maintain these communities as affordable, to continue serving those that are in need, to continue to providing the dignity that people have the right to have by having housing that is quality, housing they can afford, housing where their families and their seniors can live. Michael has been an incredible leader. He has been an incredible mentor and a friend. He takes his personal values and makes sure they're implemented in the business that we do. I could not be more honored to partner and work with an individual like him. And with that, I'd like to ask Michael Costa to come up to the podium, please.
Thank you very much, Mo. He always says such wonderful things about me, and it makes me feel nice and warm every time I hear that. As Mo mentioned, we started the company back in 1994. It was under Kaufman and Broad at that time. And the very first project that we developed as an affordable housing developer was right here in Los Angeles City. It's in the Valley View district. It's about a 230-unit affordable seniors community. So LA is very near and dear to us. Our offices have been here since, the very beginning of time. And we've gone on to, fortunately, under a slogan that we used to use, which was creating a blueprint for a better nation, is one that we really followed, one that we pushed for many, many years as an organization. And we spread out and went national with our ability to develop affordable housing. And it was only in about 6 or 7 years that the company quickly became the fifth most active and largest developer of affordable housing in the nation, and number one throughout the state of California. We held that ranking for about a good 10 years, working very hard from the late 90s through the 2000s until 2008 kind of hit us and surprised us a little bit and set us back. But we're back, and we're doing it all over again. We've been developing affordable housing that's 100% affordable for both families and seniors that entire time. And living here in Los Angeles, LA is very near and dear to me. I happen to be a product of the LA City school system here. I grew up right down the road in a little town called Harbor City, which is part of LA, as most of you know. And we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot of changes here. But being an affordable housing developer located in Los Angeles City area, and seeing the homeless issues that we have had, for us, we all got together and realized, it's time for us to learn how to develop homeless housing, because that's the need that we need today more than any other type of housing. And so, working with Faresi Hogan Rowles, by the way, who's the executive director of RISE Financial, I met Faresi in high school. We both went to Narbonne High School right down the street here. That's how we met. and she asked me to become a part of her board about 12 years ago. So I went onto her board, not easily, but I did, because I didn't understand really what she did. But she taught me everything about what they did. And then somehow, I think I fell asleep in line one day, and everybody else stepped up, or they stepped back, I think it was, and I was left in front, and so I was the next chairman of her board. And I held that position for about 7 years with Feresi. And when 2008 came, it affected a lot of us. We slowed down our development. Feresi's nonprofit organization had its issues as well. On this site once was a bank building that she was leasing for CFRC, Community Financial Resource Centers of LA, which was, by the way, one of the most active CDFIs in the state of California, doing great things here in Los Angeles. Unfortunately, the site payments on the mortgage couldn't be made, and so the bank came in to foreclose. That's when I stepped off the board. I told Feresi I needed to step off the board. I need to focus on trying to help us further your cause and our cause on this site. So we stepped up. We paid off that loan. We went into a partnership to do two things. One, build permanent supportive housing on this site and maximize the number of units. And two, create space that basically is in perpetuity for CFRC. So we have space now that we've developed here that CFRC will pay $1 in rent per year, so that she does not have to ever, CFRC Rise will never have to worry about paying rent again. And that gives her a lot of comfort and ability to really do a lot more things here in Los Angeles. So we're looking forward to all of that. I said I grew up here in LA. I forgot to mention something that's really important to me. My entire family's grown up in Los Angeles. My father, my brother, an uncle, one of my uncles, and 4 of my cousins are all city employees here of Los Angeles. A couple of them are retired, but all of them work for the Los Angeles City Fire Department. So this is my backyard. This is my home. And this is a way that we look at it as a company as this is our giving back to what we do every day. We've been building the seniors and the family housing, and we're still continuing to do that nationally. But homeless housing is a different type of product. As Mo mentioned and as Curren mentioned, it takes an army of people, several different financing programs, funding programs, and it takes a long time to put it together. And through the public-private partnerships that are created on that front is the only way that you can get something like this done. We're proud to tell you that we have 2 more coming. Both of them are in Mr. Price's district, the 9th district. We have one on Central Avenue that we're working on right now. Hopefully we'll be starting that before the end of the year. And we have another one on Main Street that should be starting sometime next year. So we're not giving up. We're going to still pursue this objective of ours to create as much of these affordable housing communities as we can in Los Angeles while we continue our other operations outside. So with that, I too want to thank everybody. I don't have the list of all the people that were involved here, but I especially want to thank Mr. Curren Price. He has nothing but supported our efforts from day one. It's been great to work with, and as you can see, we're doing a lot more together. We're going to continue to do that. I want to thank SRO Housing, because being a company that's been involved in affordable family and senior housing, we really don't know how to operate this type of community. We know how much is needed. We know generally what it takes, but we are not an operator of these types of communities. And so having a partner like SRO that has the vast experience that they've had over all the years here in Los Angeles is a great relationship of ours, and we look to further that with them because we could not get this done without SRO. So with that, I just want to thank everybody else that's here that's worked on the project, all the people at obviously Highridge Costa, and all the elected officials, the county, the city, and all the financing programs we've been able to put together to make this happen. Thank you very much for listening to our story today.
Thank you, Michael Costa. The part that I talked about requires that we recognize some of the agencies and companies and lenders and investors to provide an understanding, a basic understanding of what it takes to put these communities together. We want to thank the Department of Health Services. We want to thank the Housing Authority of Los Angeles. We want to thank the Homeless Outreach Program Integrated Care, the unit matcher for RISE. We want to thank the Veteran Administration. We want to thank the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority. We want to thank our construction and permanent lender, Citibank. We want to thank our tax credit investor, Royal Bank of Canada. We want to thank City National Bank for the AHP loan. We want to thank the Tax Credit Allocation Committee and Debt Limit Allocation Committee for the tax credits and the tax-exempt bond. We also want to thank our architect, John Egan of Egan & Simon, our civil, Hunsaker, our general contractor, Alpha Construction. This is not a complete list. And within those organizations, I mentioned the organizations and did not mention the multitude of people within those agencies and organizations that have worked tirelessly over the last 4 to 5 years to make this reality happen. We are asked often, why does it take so long? Because it is hard. Because everybody is trying to make sure that the funds are used correctly, that the community is built right, that the building structure is built correctly, and that takes time. I would love to do nothing more than say, Mike mentioned Main and Central, to say, why next year? We're starting tomorrow. This is why next year. This is why the year after. It is an incredible amount of hard work from both the private and the public sector. And it cannot be done in any other way to ensure that the funds, the public funds that are used, are being used in the right way, and that the promise that was made is the promise that is being delivered today. I want to in particular thank our team at High Ridge Costa. As all of the others worked diligently, so did our team. And 2 people within our organization deserve a special mention. Caitlin Barrow, the project manager who's here with us today, worked every single day since this was an idea and a concept to be put together. Then COVID hit, and we had to continue building. And I want to give special mention to our VP of Construction, Pete Harris-Peru. I do that while still recognizing many other team members within our organization that have dealt with the various aspects that it takes to bring this together. One of the important questions I get asked is by my family. Dad, what is it that you do exactly? And it's a very hard thing to explain, but I say we help people to have a home. We help people to come home to their families for a place that they can call their own, that they can sit around the dinner table and not be worried, are they going to be sitting around that dinner table again tomorrow? We try to work hard to provide them a place to sleep, a place where they can put their personal belongings and keep them there tomorrow and the day after. We provide homes that are attainable and affordable for people. We try to do that by allowing them to have the dignity they deserve. A mission of changing lives is what we are about, I tell my children. So my youngest asked me when I explained what we're doing here for our veterans and how, as Mike mentioned, it's unique. These are homeless people and this is a home we're giving them. She said, Dad, how can we welcome them? What can I do with my friends or my troop? What can I do? And she thought hard, and she's had time to think about this. And she came up with a great idea. And of all the people I presented today, I am biased. I have great pleasure in presenting my own daughter, Layla Mohana.
Hello. So after hearing about Rise Apartments, my friend Bridget Knapp, who unfortunately couldn't make it here today, decided through our Girl Scout Silver Award project to launch a campaign named Books for Veterans. The goal was to set up a community library for the veterans here at Rise Apartments. We started out with the goal of collecting 60 books, but when our friends, neighbors, and family heard about this, we were overwhelmed with donations that exceeded 500 books. Today, we will deliver these books to SRO Property Management to start the library. The rest of the books will be donated to other communities within the city of Los Angeles. Our hope and goal is to then encourage these communities to start a book exchange program. This way, the community libraries will always be refreshed with new books. Thank you.
Thank you, Leila. Thank you for helping us make a difference. With this, we will conclude our ceremonies for today. End it with a big thank you. End it with gratitude for everyone that is here today and everyone else that couldn't make it. We from High Ridge Costa are grateful for everyone's help. We from High Ridge Costa are appreciative of what it took to get us here today. Thank you to all. Congratulate yourselves. You are part of a legacy. Have a wonderful day.